So I wanted to make sure you all see what it is, what you're going to be able to do. It's going to be different for each level. So I'll work to break down what you'll expect and what you will have access to based on your membership level. Let me share my screen, and please put any questions in the chat that you might have. Share screen. Okay. Hopefully you all can see my screen. So everybody will have access to this part of the platform when you log in. You'll have the welcome space, which is just me talking about why are we doing this? Why are we here? And then giving you instructions on what to do. So you'll want to, when you log onto the space, you want to create your profile. You want to go and introduce yourself, share who you are, check the calendar for upcoming sessions. You can put those on your calendar. And then I'm going to communicate with you all through announcements, but I'll get to there in a second. It's so small. Okay. Let me see. Is that better? If I get myself off of it, hopefully that's better. So you'll be able to start there at the welcome. Is it better? Is the size better, McCall? So then next you'll go to the introductions. You'll come here and to introduce yourself. Hi, girl. Hey, Selena. Introduce yourself. So if you have joined and you have not introduced yourself yet, please make sure you go and do that. I'm going to have some giveaways and some raffles and things like that. I have a store. I have a merch store. So you'll be entered in raffles for t-shirts, sweatshirts, journals. I'll show you more. And then also you'll be entered into a raffle for a free coaching session with me as well. So, but you have to fill out your introductions page first. So make sure you go and do that by the end of this upcoming week. And I'll start to pull raffles from there. So go in and introduce yourself. You'll see this. Everybody will have access to this. The announcements. This is where I'll be sharing updates and information with you all. This will be me kind of talking to you all. If you have announcements that you want to share with the full group, you'll send those to me. Send those to me in a DM so that I can post them for you. I'll share other ways that you can communicate with the group, but if you want something to go to the full group, you'll have to DM it to me, the information that you want to share, and I'll let you know if I'm going to post it or if it could go somewhere else or not. But this is where I'll be just sharing out information with you all, opportunities. I just want to make sure it doesn't get too cluttered. So that is what the announcement space will be for. It wouldn't let me on the Circle app link last time when I tried last week. Oh no. Did you sign up already? Have you joined the platform? And if so, there's the link again. I just put it in the chat in case you need to try to sign in again. Okay. So there will be events. We're in this one. The events will be posted here. Every fourth Sunday, we're going to be meeting live. So next Sunday, we're going to have a Black woman somatic therapist on, talking about our nervous system. How do we care for our nervous system? What does it look like as we are building as Black women? She specializes in working with Black women. She's my former therapist. She helped me to get free. And so she's going to talk to us about what does that look like? How do we take back control over our lives and regulate ourselves through this mess? So every fourth Sunday, you plan on being here. I've been doing weekly office hours on Thursdays. I might just keep those going because I like talking to y'all. So I think I might keep the Thursday office hours going. But in any, those will be here. All the events will be posted here. Don't worry about that. So the village is available to everybody. Everybody will have access to everything that you see in the village, whether you pay or not. It's open. So this will have a link in here. I just haven't put it in here yet. But this is where we are building a Black woman owned business directory. So there'll be a link in here for you to submit your business, what you're building, who is it for, is it virtual, in person, all those things. And we're going to build a directory and everybody will have access. Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm skipping around a little bit, but the question here, have we gotten through all the applications? Yes, I'm going to check back in with Brittany, but I believe that those announcements about who was selected for the first cohort, people should have started to get outreach this week. So you should have been notified this week if you were selected to be in the cohort. But I believe she was also following up with those who were not selected. So you need to make sure you check your email. I know that she said that she had been reaching out to people, but some people hadn't gotten back to her, but she was doing interviews and she moved through that process. So we, very excited, have selected the first cohort of people who are going to be working to build businesses together. But we will still be doing work. Even if you aren't selected in the cohort, don't be discouraged, because we still need you and we still are going to be collaborating. And I'm going to talk about how in a second. But thank you for asking that question. Yes, the first cohort has been selected and those announcements will be coming so soon. Okay, I'm going to check back in with Brittany about that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so we'll have the Black Women Owned directory here. Everybody will have access to submit your business. And then as we're building the directory, that's what I'm working on right now, I'm going to have a way that you can see it in real time when people are adding to the directory. So I'm finishing that up. That will be live, if not tomorrow, this week. There will be a space for you to hire people or to be hired. So if you have a business and you want to hire a Black woman, come right here. Post, talk about what you offer, what help you need, what project you're looking for support with. And so you can come right here in this space, like a classified section, and list out what you need and what you're hiring for. So make sure if you're looking for work, come in here, keep an eye out. And if you are looking to hire people, come right here and hire from within this community. Also, though, if you aren't able to pay for services, yes, the directory will be categorized based on these sectors that you see right here. The directory will be broken down into those sectors. So there's also space to barter. So let's say you need your taxes done and you don't have the funds, but you build websites. So you can say, hey, I'll build your website if you're a tax accountant who needs a website for your business if you do my taxes. So you can come here and barter for an exchange of services, right? We haven't always had money. And as this world is collapsing, we're going to have to start rethinking what is value. Value is our ideas. Value is our brain power as well, right? And so we shouldn't discount that. We have a lot of valuable things to offer to each other. So you can come here and barter as well. There'll be a link to a resource guide here, basically everything that I wish I had when I started out as a consultant and entrepreneur. And I will also encourage you all to put links in here too. So if you have things that have been helpful, templates for you, you can use this resource guide space and add those things in. There will be a link to volunteer. So there will be a number of volunteer opportunities from those every fourth Sunday that I mentioned, that there'll be visioning sessions. I don't want to just keep talking at y'all. I would very much like to sit here and learn and listen. And so there will be opportunities for you all to sign up to lead a visioning session with your brilliant expertise. So I'll have a link in here to sign up for that. A link for you to sign up to serve on the committee for mutual aid that I talked about too. And then a number of opportunities as they come up. I talked about perhaps leading committees as well. And so there could be opportunities for you to sign up to lead your sector committee as we do work in our sectors. So all of that will be here for you to be able to sign up to volunteer and engage more deeply. Yes, I'm glad y'all like the barter. I'm just looking at the comments for sure. We definitely have to rethink how we work together. My podcast is here. So if you like podcasts, you can check it out. I talked about it at the beginning of this session, but basically the podcast is all about how I got free. I've had basically 2 seasons of the podcast. There was the first season, then the next season was called Lessons from Liberation, where I talked about now that I got free, now what? As Toni Morrison says, is one thing to free ourselves, it's another thing to claim ownership over that freed self. So that second season is kind of these mini episodes about what I've been experiencing over this last year and a half and how it has led me right to where we are right now. So I highly recommend checking that out, the podcast. We have a space for books and articles. I'm a big nerd. I want to see all the books, especially as it relates to liberation, entrepreneurship, everything. And so you all can put recommendations in this space. There's also a space. So I do, like I said, offer coaching. I do group coaching here. Some people will have access to one-on-one coaching. But if you're not at the membership tier for the one-on-one coaching, but you still want some time with me, you can book a free discovery call and I can share how I might be able to support. I do coaching from anything around healing journey, advising, helping you to really think through what you're experiencing, what some supports are that you might need. I do single business strategy sessions. So if you just wanted to book an hour with me to do an intensive on your business and supporting you in whatever it is that you need right now, I have full one-on-one coaching package. I will do this sparingly because I know my time is going to be very limited to go through like the full package, but that is available. And then I also have a whole production company, y'all. So I'm a producer as well. I produce podcasts and creative works. I produced 5 podcasts now. That's crazy to say out loud, but my own, and then 4 additional podcasts. So if you're looking for a producer, we can also talk about that as well. So you can connect, book some time with me for one-on-one coaching outside of the robust coaching that you'll get inside of this community. There is the free Black Girl store. So I talked about that. These are some of the items that we're going to raffle off. Once you go and introduce yourself, come through. These are my designs. I created this. I love these journals. I love all of it, but yoga mats, everything. So once you introduce yourself, you will get entered into a raffle to win some of these free items. You also, if you are a paid member, you get a promo code. So if you are $10 or $30 member, you get 10% off of everything in the store. If you are a lifetime member, you get 20% off of everything in the store. So definitely go check that out as well. And this was not originally a part of the model, but I wanted folks who are joining for free to still have access to some kind of coaching. And in some of the conversations that I had, these are some of the lessons that came up that I wanted to offer. So everybody in the community, whether you pay or not, you'll have access to these 3 coaching modules. Community building 101. How do we get into community? What does it mean? What does it look like to be in community with each other? I want everybody to have access to this lesson. That's me looking crazy, but so each of the lessons, you'll see the purpose, the learning objectives, and then the different activities and reflection for you in each of these lessons. They're very robust. And then you'll see recommended listening. So what is the corresponding podcast episode to that lesson if you want to go deeper into the coaching? So that is like I said, available for everybody. So community building 101, self-explanatory, self-coaching. So there's a self-coaching model called it's basically CTFAR. And so this allows you, when you are experiencing different circumstances and your thoughts start to take over, to really pause and examine what is the circumstance? What are you thinking? What's your feeling? What actions are you taking that correlate to what you're thinking? And then what results? And then how do you shift out of that? So that session is going to be available for everybody. And then the other session that is going to be available for everybody is around structuring your services and your offerings. We all have so many ideas, I'm sure, and not really knowing where to start. And so this, I wanted to make available to everybody to really externalize those ideas and then organize it into a coherent strategy. I am a Virgo. I like things to make sense. And so I'm helping you to do that. You are seeing inside of my Virgo brain in the curriculum that I have developed. And I have 20 years of experience in developing curriculum as well. And so this will walk you through what your offer is, who does it serve, what are they buying, what's included, what's the win for them, what's the time frame, is this a 6 month, what do you need to be able to deliver it sustainably, right? You offer blank for blank who want blank. So getting it out of your head and into a real structure. So those 3 modules are free for everybody. Do y'all see the value, right? Like this is a lot of value for you all. That's why I want you to join in. Okay, so that is open to everybody, the village. These chat rooms are also open to everybody. So the chat rooms, let's say you're working in education and you're working on a project and you want somebody to collaborate with. Come on into this chat room and say, hey, I'm working on this. Does anybody know anybody who can help me? Does anybody want to work on this with me? I will also we'll be doing more intentional work with these. So we're going to zoom out and say, what do we need to build as it relates to education in this new world of ours? And then y'all gonna go in the chat room and you're gonna talk about it. And you're gonna be able to volunteer to lead a chat room, to be the facilitator of your chat room. Y'all gonna be able to meet yourselves. You'll have access to set up a meeting room in here if you want on your own and meet within your subgroup. You can post if you have events and things going on, you can post in your respective chat rooms as well. And you can go in any chat room that you want. If you're curious about that space, if you want to learn more, you're free to move throughout. And so it's really going to take your engagement, but I'm going to be offering you prompts and things every week to be thinking about and having these conversations. Like I said, this is meant to be an active community where we are actively building together. And I want you to have all the support that you need. I want your nervous system regulated. I want your structure. I want your strategy. And I want your ability to remember how to be in community as well. So I want you to have everything that you need for us to be successful. So all of that is free. All of that is free, right? So this is the paid option. So if you're paying in at $10 a month, you'll get access to everything I just said, plus you'll get access to these modules. So finding and communicating your niche. What are you doing? How are you explaining it to people? It goes further than the services that you're offering. It's what world are you envisioning and how do you see your work contributing to that world? And looking at what are your transferable skills? Because you probably did a lot in your old jobs. That don't mean that you want to do it again. But what are the things that you did like that you want to keep doing? And then how can you apply those to a new area of work? What problem are you looking to solve? And so that's what this module will help you to do. Then getting unstuck. So when those fears come up, when life starts happening, when we don't have the money that we need, when we don't have the time that we need and the resources, first of all, how do we understand what's actually happening? It's usually our brain telling us like, hey, this is new and new is unsafe because I don't know what's around that corner. So you'll find in all of these coaching modules, I'm going to take you outside of the mechanics of things. And it's always usually going to come back to what's happening in your nervous system. What is happening in your nervous system in this moment that is keeping you stuck, that is keeping you questioning yourself, that is keeping you afraid. And so really, really investigating the origins of our discontent. You'll hear that in all of the lessons. But then also time and money is real. But zooming out to think about, well, what do you have time for? What do you have money for? Let me tell y'all, if I would have waited to have time and money, well, I had time. But if I would have waited to have money to do this, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. I had to just be like, well, all right, let's go. And I guess we'll just figure it out on the way. But I also went kicking and screaming as well. And so I want you to be a little bit more regulated. And so I learned some stuff. And I want to share that with you about how eventually I was able to regulate myself so that I could keep going and to realize, okay, I just have to keep moving forward and to trust that as you walk the way will unfold. Then you have the lesson around goal setting. Before even getting into the goals, you're going to look at what is your vision? Why are you doing this? One of my pet peeves from consulting in my career was people doing shit just for the sake of doing it. Why are we doing this? Why does it matter? What impact are we going to have? And so this starts off with that. What are you visioning? And then you're going to get into your goals. But then beyond your goals, what is the action? And so a 90-day action plan, but understanding that stuff is going to happen. Things are going to shift, and understand that this is a testing and you're refining. Look at this like the scientific method. Black women aren't given the privilege of just figuring stuff out and being curious. So this is a space for you to be curious, for you to experiment and to test things. What did you intend to do? What did you actually do? What worked? What didn't work? What surprised you? What did you learn? What did you notice? Right? It's really requiring us to pause. This will be up tomorrow. I will say noon at the latest just to give me time, but it should be up first thing in the morning. But I just want to give a little buffer. But everything will be available starting tomorrow at noon at the very latest. But I'm going to work to get it everything up by first thing in the morning. Then we're going into network mapping. You probably know a lot of people. Y'all know those officers that I mentioned that are officers of the association? Almost all of those women I've known for 20 years. One of them I've known for 10 years. And one of them I've known for 5 years. These were people in my network when I was building, and I was like, who can help me build this? And I went in my cell phone and I texted them and said, can you help me build this? And they said, yes. So you know more people than you think. These are people who have led national campaigns. You know people, right? And so this activity helps you to map it out. Who is in your network? Who are these core people for you? And to reflect on how you're going to connect with them. And then you go into business structure development. I broke this up into 2 lessons. One about the actual structure. So setting up your EIN, understanding how do you connect with taxes? What are the different models? Nonprofit, how do you decide what you want to do? Business setup checklist for you, everything around structure. How do you set up your price? What comes up in your nervous system when you are setting your price? And how do you move through that? And then business technology. What are the things that you can automate? What are the things that you can automate that you don't have to do on your own? How do you set up your tech stack for your business? And what's like the minimum that you need? You need some kind of website. You don't need to have all the apps. You please don't get all the apps. But what are the ones? I have Canva is my go-to. I have Google Workspace. And then I have my website with, Squarespace. And then I have to have, it does get annoying. I have to have Stripe to be able to receive payments. Now I have Circle as well. So these are the things though, and you need to start adding them up and putting them in your budget. So this walks you through all of that. So at the $10 level, you get access to all of that at the $10 level. Now, if you're in the $30 level, you'll get access to everything I just said. Plus, you'll get access to this. You'll get access to nervous system regulation, going deeper into understanding what is somatic therapy, what is the practice of it, how do you understand fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, what is a present threat versus something that's living in your nervous system, really doing that nervous system map of what's going on inside of you when these fears are coming up, and then what are the resources. This is the $30 a month tier gets access to this visibility and being seen. So we know somebody, you building something, somebody gonna have to look at you. I'm sorry, y'all. They're gonna have to see your beautiful face at some point. You're gonna have to talk about what you're doing. But there are things that live in our bodies. Me growing up in a chaotic home, I made myself as small as possible. I made myself as easy as possible. And so it took a lot for me to be able to be seen. I used to tell myself I was an introvert, and I didn't like people. I am an introvert, and people are questionable from time to time. But I like to talk. Clearly, I got a podcast. I've been talking to y'all for almost an hour and a half, right? So this will allow you to work through what is actually coming up in your body when you say, I hate social media and that I don't want to be seen. What's actually happening? What's underneath that? And then we're gonna work through that because you're gonna have to be seen. You'll also get access to this lesson on abundance versus scarcity. That abundance is way more than money. That abundance is understanding that you are everything that you need. You are everything that you need. It's beyond what you have. You are everything that you need. And that will always be true. But understanding, where do these messages around money come from? What are your money messages? Everybody is different. And then also, when thinking about abundance, have you prepared the soil? Are you actually ready to receive what you've been asking for? If I'm trying to raise $1 million, I needed to get my tax accountant in place. I needed to get the nonprofit set up. I needed to get my bank account set up. I don't know what your spiritual practice is, but God does not want to deposit into a leaking vessel. So oftentimes when we're calling in these manifestations, we have to ask ourselves, have we done the work to expand our capacity to receive what it is that we're asking for? And so that's what this lesson is talking about. And then, when is enough enough? Are we just going to keep going forever trying to get everything? That's what got us in this space with capitalism in the first place. So really understanding, when do you have enough, and the gratitude around that. There is another lesson, I need to edit it, but there's another lesson on relational skills. How do we collaborate? What does it look like as we're building together? The mechanics of it. What are the agreements that we need to be able to build together? Here, let me show y'all real quick. I got to edit the video, so that's why it's not published. I'm gonna do that. But that's the relational skills. Like, why are we building together? Why us and why this? So when you're like, oh, let's collaborate, you're going to come to this activity to help you to make sure that you're successful in your collaboration. Map out what everybody brings. What is everybody's expertise? Who's leading? Who's contributing? You all are going to be learning, but we want to give you as much support as you need as you learn. What is the collaboration blueprint? What is this going to look like? And then the final coaching module is around self-trust. Just want to confirm, access to add our business directory and features starts tomorrow. Yes, that will start tomorrow. The business directory. Let me actually be, if not like first thing tomorrow, because I just need to set up the link, and I'm trying to figure something out for us to be able to see the directory at the same time that people are adding to it. So I'm doing some work behind the scenes. It will be up this week, no later than Wednesday, but it will definitely be up this week for the directory. Just want to be transparent in our expectations. So then you have this lesson on self-trust and leadership. How do you trust your own voice? We've been told to outsource our, leadership to other people asking everybody else what they think. What do you think? As a coach, I'm never going to give you the answer because my life is not your life. My nervous system is not your nervous system. You have to learn to listen to your intuition, to discern, to hear yourself and who you are. And then to be able to discern, is that fear that I'm hearing? Is that intuition that I'm hearing? And to be able to discern, but it takes practice to be able to do that, to understand, what does fear say? Fear is usually constrictive. It makes us smaller. Intuition is generally expansive, or protective as well, but understanding the difference between the two. And so these are activities to help to guide you to trusting yourself again. Understanding what leadership actually is. Leadership is not knowing everything. Leadership is knowing that you can gather information, ask for help, seek counsel, but then ultimately you are going to decide. You make the decision as a leader over your own life. So I know that was a lot. What y'all think about those coaching modules? Y'all think they'll be helpful to you? And again, if you are, save that. If you are in, if you're in the free tier, you get access to getting started, you get access to the village, and then you get access to the chat rooms if you are in the free tier. If you are in the $10 a month, you get access to all of that plus business foundations. If you're in the $30 a month, you'll get access to all that, the business foundations and the mindset and leadership. And I almost forgot, in the $30 a month, y'all are getting a lot, y'all. I need y'all to sign up because y'all are getting a lot. In the $30 a month, you also get access to monthly group coaching sessions with me where you can join. They're already scheduled. If you're in the $30 tier, go ahead and add them to your calendar. Join when you can. You'll be able to join every month, group coaching, and ask questions, any questions that you have, and be able to be in community asking those questions and getting feedback from me on whatever you're working on. You also on the $30, and this is also the lifetime member. A lifetime member, you get access to every single thing you see here. You'll also, as a $30 member, be able to submit a written question or 2 written questions a month. So if you can't attend the live group session and you want to ask a written question, you can submit it here. This says 3 business days. I need to be realistic. I might edit that to like 5 business days, but you'll get a response probably within, I'm going to say 5 business days. So that is there. Let me see. So you'll get access to that at the $30 level. And then as a lifetime member, you get access to, once a year, you'll get access to a 90-minute intensive session with me to help you to work through, what you're dealing with, working with a decision or challenge in your business. So that is for the lifetime members. You'll get access to that. Woo, that's a lot. Let me see. You mentioned